Hello, welcome. You can't video. No, I'm not ready. Morning, welcome to another Brickright video. Brickright? No, that's not right, is it? Hello, welcome to another Brickright video. We're down in Cardiff today, we're in Thornhill. It's bloody cold, but we're looking forward to doing this new job. So let's show you what we're going to be doing. We got Marshall's driveway going in here, of them bad boys down there. They're tegulars. So all this is being ripped out, and I'm going to get a little curve coming around here, and this section coming in there is all going to be Marshall's driveway. Path here, round the back, Indian sandstone. Decking's coming out, porcelain patio in the grey, in there with some brick planters and some steps on the side there. Path going around the conservatory, round the side, up to the gate, and then past the gate and matching up to the driveway out there. That's the job. Let's get on with it. So this is where we are so far, ripping the decking up, coming along good. You enjoying it, Frey? Yeah? You bloody lying little git, you know? You just pulled your groin. It's not a pleasant job, is it? You're just trying to be brave, aren't you, Frey?
Oh, I actually don't mind it.
Yeah, it was alright, is it? It's dug out. That's done around there. That's done there. Done. This level raises here, so we're going to have to join those levels up. This is what we got to bring in then. So, who's going to barrow then, Frey?
Well, we're not barrow, are we?
What is that then?
Say no, you ain't going to barrow, you? You're too fat and old to do any of this.
Too fat and bloody old? I take all that in on my top lip, mate, let me tell you.
I know all that then.
What's that?
We'll start doing this now, and the phone will ring, won't it? You'll be sat in the van.
Yeah, I do invent phone calls now and again. Top tip for you lads out there who's a boss. Invent a phone call. Get a missus or get anybody to phone you just to pretend to walk away so you don't have to do anything. Innit, Ross? Yeah, would you do that if you were boss, Ross?
Oh, my phone's ringing as well.
Boss, here we are. She's phoning you now and all.
One sec.
Let's get on with it then, is it? So we're bringing the base in now. We whacked the first half. You've got to whack it in stages. So this first bit, that's the first bit, has been whacked. This is the second bit that hasn't been, and we put these pegs in just to transfer our level. So what we do now, we just fill the scalpings up to the top of these pegs. That'll be the level that we require, and then we can whack that again, and the base is coming towards completion then. Stage now, so we're setting out the so there's a brick wall going here, brick planter going along here, down here, then there's a gap of some steps, and then there's another brick planter down where Ross is showing you now. So how have we done this? How have we set this out? So what we've done, look, is if you come over here, Ross, I'll show you this now step by step. So we put this line in up at the house there on the brickwork, and we've run this line through, and we've squared it off the house. So that line is squared off the house coming through, and to double check that, we've put a square off the house onto this coming across. Do you want to just show them really quick what we did, Frey? The square's over there, so a square off that just to double check it. And then what I've done, my patio comes through as a path here, which is 900mm wide. That's the path. So what I've had to do is I've had to measure 900mm off that line out to here and go a little bit further for the edge of my brickwork and my patio. So I've measured, there we are, look, if you put that onto the house and then you run off there, then that line is square off this part of the house as well. So it's just like a double check. So what I've done, you put your 900mm front by here, draw a line, 900mm, put a string line up there, draw a line in blue, which is this line here, okay? So what that does now, that represents my brickwork on this outside, which is now squared off this, and then we put the path right the way through, it'll be a straight line off the house. So that's that. Second to that now, once we've got that line and that line sorted out, we've got a single skin bricklaying wall here because the ground where I'm stood does that. So what we've got to do is just want to retain this side so that the patio doesn't fall into the grass that I'm stood on. So the ground is uneven. So we're going to put a bit of brickwork up there and a foundation in there. And then when we come to this bit, this is where our planter is. So we've got a 2 brick planter. I'll show you that when we come to it. So we've got a 2 brick planter. So what I've done is I've gone wider on the foundations than what I need, width-wise and length-wise, to give us a bit of room to move the planter with a bond to get the bond set out right. So that's all set out now, all square. And then what we've done with this line here, coming across here, we've squared, we've measured off the house from here. So we've measured off the house from there. I think it was 4 meters 235, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 meters 235 from there. That then goes out to this line here, and then we transfer the measurement from, sorry Ross, from the house over here, take measure on there, 4 meters 235 to here. And then what we did then is we put a line up there and we drew that line across there. So that line now is parallel to the house, and we put our set square on the line over there like we did at the top. Double check that, didn't we, Frey?
Yep.
So that's what we've done there. So that's where we are with it. So we got all these foundations and everything set out now. What we've also got is a step here, but then you've got an overlap on your patio that needs to come past the brickwork. So you have to think of those little details as well. The other thing we did, going from this side, because we got 900 by 600 porcelain slabs going in here now. So off this conservatory over to this blue line here, that measurement is fixed. I can't change it. So whatever the cuts will be on that will be. This way, however, client wanted to finish where the old decking was, which was smack bang wallop by here. So my job is to try and get the patio to finish to here. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep those cuts to a minimum. I don't want to cut on the end of the patio. So we've worked it out 7 slabs, haven't we? 7 porcelain slabs coming out. We're going to go for a 5mm joint coming through. So 4 meters 235 represents that. That'll come to there. My brickwork needs to sit just inside for a little overlap. So we've worked all that out now with the bond for our patio. So we're not just thinking about the planters and the brickwork and the squares, we're thinking about the patio that's going to sit on top of it and how that's going to look. So what we're going to do now is the patio comes to here, so we're going to set another line coming up here through there, and all we need to do with that is do the same principle as we've done that side, put the line on the conservatory and come out here. But top tip for you, a lot of these times when you build these conservatories, like on the flooded masterpiece, the conservatory might be a little bit out of square. So we're now in the process of checking to see whether that's square. So we put the line up, we'll do the same as we did over there, we'll double check it with that and to see if it's square. And if it's not, we'll have to measure, mix things up a little bit and change it out a little bit because our patio needs to be square. So there's a lot to go on, Frey, isn't there? Yeah. Fraser's come in this morning. I've taught him all this because he's learning. Ross is a ground worker, but you didn't know any of this either, Ross, did you? It's not just a case of whacking your foot in. There's a lot goes into it, isn't there? So have you learned anything?
Nothing.
You haven't learned anything at all? You haven't listened to anything at all? Bloody typical, innit? Yeah, that's what we call a Welsh Ridgeback spider. Frey, get the saddle out the van, mate.
Well, we have already done this once, but someone messed the recording up. I'm not going to say any names, but
3 times.
It was Justin.
Absolutely nothing to do with me. These technological advances are way above my bloody pay grade, Frey.
But anyway, we've dug all this out now, and what we started off by doing was putting our line up there. This line here, we put it 2 courses below DPC, which is our finished height of our patio. We've put our level on it with our fold-away one, which is the bubble just touching the line, and we've pegged this post in. Right, using our peg now, which represents our finished height of our patio, we can get our straight edge level, put it across, level, Ross measure down.
410. 415.
425. And it's 425 because we want our footing to be 200mm deep, and we want 3 courses of bricks, which is 225, 2 above ground, 1 below ground. Right, so we've put a step in the footing through here now because the ground here is we worked it out, it's a brick lower, so we're putting our footing in a brick lower, which then means you won't see any of the footing, and we can also get our course below ground.
Right, we made a little bit of an error yesterday, and it's always really important that when you do these jobs, big or small, that you just keep ticking the boxes in your head and just keep going over it. When you get home after work, go over what you've done, really think about it. So I've done that, and what I've come up with is yesterday were taking the measurement, as Fraser explained to you. We were taking all the measurements from the top of the patio, so that's from the top of the patio slab, and measuring down. And we were working that out for our brickwork. So the brickwork doesn't come to the top of the patio slab, which is this. The brickwork comes lower. So you've got your top of your patio slab, which is that. Then you've got 20 millimeters of porcelain, which is the thickness of the porcelain. Then you've got a 20 millimeter bed that I want on the front. So that equates to 40 mil. So our brickwork doesn't come to the top of that because that's finished patio. Our brickwork actually lands where that mark is here, 40 millimeters lower than the top of patio, if that all makes sense. So now what we've got to do is we've either got to dig all this back out again, because that's what the error is. We either take another 50 mil off, or you know, you could say, well, we'll do 150 mil foundations, which is what we're going to do. So on this small section of walling, you could put 100 mil of concrete foundations in, but I always like to double it up and over engineer it. So by putting 150 in, I'm kind of still over engineering it anyway. So I'm happy to put 150 in, and it's a bit deeper in places. So we're going to go to that. We're going to put our 150 concrete foundation in, and I will come back to you about our gauge of brickwork and how many courses it's going to take to get us to that. It's absolutely brass monkeys here today, Frey, isn't it? Yeah. It's bloody freezing cold. My hands are freezing. Anyway, right, so then, we've put the concrete in now. So what we've got to check, as I was saying, is that line there is our top of our brickwork. So top tip for you, and I've done this so many times myself, you want to establish whether you're putting your level like that, or whether you're putting your level at the bottom, because you need to know which side of the level you're measuring to. So I always tend to put the level at the top of the line like that, so I'm measuring from there to the underside of the level, and get into a habit of which one you choose, because you could put it there and measure to the top of the level, and if you change your mind, then your level's thickness out of your measurement. So, and I've done it, and it's a big cock up, so don't make the same mistake. So there we are, we put that line, the level on the line there now, get the spirit level, and then what you're looking for is to measure down to the bottom of the level, 225 mil, which is 3 courses of brickwork. So I've got 225 mil. So I now know that from the top of my foundation to the top of there, I can get 3 courses of brickwork, and then once the concrete's set, and that'll equate for us with our porcelain and our bed going on top. Secondly to that, the other thing I want to check is the thickness of the foundation. So all I do, I get my spirit level on there, get it level, measure down, and I've got about 160 millimeters on there for the thickness of my foundation. So we'll get this run through here and run through there, and what we'll do, we'll set you up on a time lapse to watch us do it. So we've finished. You can show them that now there. Look, Ross, just give them a quick show. So what we've done with it, basically, once Ross has finished showing you, is that line that I was talking about here, we've measured down 225 now off that line, which is your 3 courses, 150mm foundations right the way through. And then what we've got down here, look, we've got a step in the foundation here. We've got a step in the foundation there. And then when we come round the side, got a step in the foundation going back up, because obviously what we said, didn't we, our Fraser said that this corner here was low to that corner up there. So what we've done, we've put a peg in the middle. Look, Ross, if you can show them that, there's a peg there that Ross is showing you, and there's also a peg on the end here. And all we did, we just leveled off that peg at the top, transferred our level over, and then we just measured from the spirit level down to the tape measure readings that we needed, and we just transferred the level all the way through and blasted it all in. The only thing we could have done a little bit different is we probably could have pegged out. We could have put formwork up by here as well, pieces of ply, rather than using a brick. It's a little foundation, so there's no need to go stupid with it. So it's done. Hopefully it's helped you. On the next video, we'll be showing you how the planters are going to go in and how the bricklaying goes in, as long as the weather stays fine, Ross, isn't it? So a special thank you to Ross. He's come in to cover Jay for a week. So he's like I say, he's a friend of Fraser's, a friend of the family. He's been really, really good. So Ross, thank you ever so much, mate, for all your hard work. And we will see you again next week. For you guys watching, have a lovely weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Cheers.